5. Did you have a recording device? Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Yeah, I have 5:30. I'll call this Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order for May 7th, 2024 at 5:30. We have some housekeeping items. Your phones, please, if you can't silence it, turn it off, so we can have a smooth transition. Number 2, consider yourself under oath when speaking before this board. And 3, if you're going to speak or you find that you need to speak, please get with Miss Katie and sign in so we'll know who is speaking and all the pertinent information. And the last item, if you do need to speak, when recognized, come to the podium, state your name and address, just for the record, so we'll have a record of it, and then you'll have a time to speak your case for or against whatever the situation may be. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the April 2nd meeting.
I move the minutes be approved.
We have a motion by Mr. Lister
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
and Mr. Ransdale second. There doesn't need to be any discussion. All in favor, raise your hand. And opposed likewise, and it is unanimous. It's going to be back up one more. We do have a quorum for tonight's meeting. Mr. Sam is not here, but we do have a quorum for tonight's meeting. The first case is a variance request. Case number VA 01-05-07-24. A variance request for the relief of the 50-foot required setback from the road right-of-way to be 3 feet from the road right-of-way for an addition to the existing outdoor seating area. The property is located at 745 Marina Way, Prosperity, South Carolina, tax map number 592-2-126. Ms. Katie.
Yes, so the owner of the property and the company that is leasing the building, they applied for a variance. They have done an addition to the outdoor seating area. The addition is already built. As of right now, it is 3 foot from the road right-of-way instead of the 50-foot setback from the road right-of-way. So again, it's been there. We've had no complaints. We were actually out on site doing an inspection for the old Buffalo Creek when we noticed the deck being built. So again, had no complaints, and it is there. So they are asking for the 47-foot variance.
Does the board have any questions of Ms. Katie?
Is this a covered area or just outdoor seating?
It's open.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Katie. All right. If Ms. Katie did not clarify that enough for anybody, is there anybody here speaking on behalf of this variance request? All right, hearing none. Is there anyone here speaking against this variance request? All right. Let's go visit our friends. The board is required to consider the following factors per section 153.052A through F of the zoning ordinance. Number 1, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property. I will poll each person. I'll start with Mr. Patrick.
Concur.
I would concur also.
Mr. Ty.
I guess as far as discussion matters and what Ms. Katie had said, and this is already built, it's already finished, right?
Correct.
So I just have to say, with that being the case and I'm not hearing from the owner of the property, I'm not sure if there was any special considerations for the variance.
So, you,
I'm going to vote against that.
okay,
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
I concur on that too, Chairman.
all right, and I vote in favor. Number two, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity or in that district. Mr. Patrick?
I will agree with that.
Mr. Yu?
I would also.
Mr. Ty?
I will agree with that one.
I'll agree.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
I agree on it.
Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict use of the property. Mr. Patrick?
Concur.
Mr. Yu?
I agree also.
Mr. Ty?
I agree on that.
Yes.
I agree, Mr.
Aye.
Chairman.
Also concur on it, Chairman.
Number four, the authorization of the variance will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Patrick?
Concur.
Concur also.
Concur as well.
And I do.
Concur.
Concur on it.
Number five, the effect of the variance would not allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, would not extend physically a non-conforming use of the land, would not change the zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning maps. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
Mr. Hugh?
I agree also.
Mr. Ty?
I agree.
I agree.
Concur.
I agree on it.
Having stated that, does this board have a motion?
I would move that the variance be granted.
Mr. Lister moves to approve variance.
And I'll second it there.
And Mr. Patrick,
I'll second it.
is there any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, raise your hand. It is unanimous. Your variance is granted. You have to wait 30 days, Ms. Katie,
Right.
and stay in touch with Ms. Katie on that. All right? Let's see. Number two, VA 02-05-07-24, a variance request for the relief of the 86.5-foot required setback from the 440 contour of Lake Greenwood to be 70 feet from the 440 contour of Lake Greenwood for a screened porch addition to the existing home. The property is located at 248 Catfish Cove Road, Chapel, South Carolina, tax map number 6-4-4. Ms. Katie?
Yes, so the owner is wanting to do a screen porch addition to his current established home on the property. It's gonna be a 12 by 37. To obtain that, he is gonna need a variance. He'd like to be the 70-foot instead of the 86.5-foot setback. Property was posted, and we've had no comments in for or against the variance.
Does the board have any questions of Ms. Katie? All right, thank you, Ms. Katie. Is there anyone here speaking for or on behalf of this variance? You're not required to speak. If you don't, you don't have to, no one has to speak unless you don't feel Ms. Katie did your justice. But you're welcome to. All right? Is there anyone here speaking against this variance request? Okay. Let me go to our friends. This board is required to consider the following factors per section 153.052. A through F of zoning ordinance. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property. Mr. Patrick?
Agree, Mr. Chairman.
Agree also.
Mr.
I'll agree.
I agree.
Agree, Mr. Chairman.
Agree on it.
Number two, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity or in that district. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
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 Vote.
Agree on it.
Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict use of the property. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
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 Agree on it.
The authorization of the variance will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
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 I agree on it also.
The effect of the variance would not allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, would not extend physically a non-conforming use of the land, would not change the zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning map. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
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 Agree on it.
Having heard these facts of finding, is the board prepared to make a motion?
Move to accept as requested, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'll, go ahead, Patrick.
Patrick seconds. Mr. Bowden, motion to approve. Is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It is unanimous. You have your variance request. You have 30 days. Is that correct still? Okay. Get with Miss, stay with Miss Katie on that. All right.
Will, now I recognize you. I apologize for not speaking to you.
No, that's fine. Been a long time.
It has been.
All right. The last item. Case number VA 03-05-07-24. A variance request for the relief of the 101-foot required setback from the 360 contour of Lake Murray to be 36 feet from the 360 contour of Lake Murray for a new site-built home. The property is located at 549 Pioneer Shores Road, Prosperity, South Carolina, tax map 653-10-1. Ms. Katie?
Yes, so the property owners are looking to build a new site-built home on the property. Their required setback, they're asking to be 36 foot instead of the 101 required setback. And they've kind of got two things going on for them. The first, as you can see, I've highlighted their tax map number in yellow. The shape of their land is very unique, and where their septic system is going to play a huge part in that. So that is their two hardships, is their septic system and the shape of their property. Property was posted. We've received no comments for or against where the placement of the home would be.
Okay. Does this board have any questions in this case? Thank you, Ms. Katie. Is there anyone speaking here to speak on behalf of this variance? Is there anyone here speaking against this variance request? Hearing none, the board is required to consider the following factors per section 153.052. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
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 Agree on it.
These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity or in that district. Mr. Patrick?
Agree.
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 Agree on it.
Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict use of the property. Mr. Patrick?
Agreed, Mr. Chairman.
Agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
Agree.
I agree on it, Chairman.
The authorization of the variance will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Patrick?
Agreed.
Agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
Agree.
I agree on it.
The effect of the variance would not allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, would not extend physically a non-conforming use of the land, would not change the zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning map. Mr. Patrick?
Agreed.
Agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
Agree.
Agreed.
Having found these findings of fact, board prepared to make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the request as requested.
I would second.
Mr. Hughes seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Opposed, likewise. Your variance request is approved. Please wait 30 days and stay in touch with Ms. Katie. I'm sure she'll be in touch with you. Thank you. There are no other business listed here.
You get June off.
We get June off. Wow. Can we take that cut and pay? Thank you so very much.
In July, we usually have one unless we do have meetings.
That's right.
That's true too.
We'll
I
see.
mean,
You'll-
it's on the schedule, but unless we get business, no business as of right now, but
Okay.
we'll be in touch for July.
Mr. Patrick, I'll entertain one more motion to adjourn.
I'll adjourn.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand and raise from your seats in the car. Thank you.